Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. This is your host Ram giving you a real warm welcome here on this cricket show. And on this particular cricket show, it is going to be the second day's play in the match between West Indies and Pakistan, where West Indies cracked Brathwaite. Um, in fact, the Pakistan were actually all out for 281, so they added only 26 runs, and they were all out for 281. And as far as West Indies were concerned, well, West Indies definitely, I wouldn't say they had a very good day, but one good thing was that Pakistan saw to it that West Indies also did not get off the handle as they had the West Indians at 244 for 6, 37 runs from taking the lead. And the good thing for the West Indies was Craig Brathwaite, who is a very, very technically proficient player for the West Indies. As an opener, defied everything and stayed at the crease for the whole day as he ground out 95 unbeaten runs towards close of play to hold the fort for the West Indies. And probably he would be the hope. He would be the one that West Indies would be hopeful that he would go on to a century and much more than that. And then hopefully the West Indian tailenders give him some company for them to actually go past the Pakistan score. So that is one thing that we'll be looking at. And the other thing, there was a real surprise as far as Zimbabwe versus Sri Lanka were concerned. Yes, in fact, the as I said, the pitch was behaving in an unusual manner, and that really made Zimbabwe put Zimbabwe in a very tough situation as they were reduced at one stage to 139 for 6 with 5 wickets falling in the morning session. But after that, there came an absolute rearguard action in the form of the Zimbabwean captain Graham Cremer playing a captain's knock in the company of Peter Moor. In fact, Cremer went out. Cremer has never hit a 50, and this was his maiden test ton today, as he finished on 102 not out today. And what an innings it was! It was an innings which really had some class in it. And as far as Peter Moore was concerned, he was the one who decided that he's going to take the attack right down to the Sri Lankan bowlers as he started clouting the spinners for sixes and hitting boundaries. As Peter Moore also contributed in a big manner, 79, but Graham Cremer, who had an average of 10, he's a good batsman. One knows that he's a very useful bat. But today, what he did was playing like an accomplished batsman, and that was good to see as Cremer was the one who enabled Zimbabwe to actually avoid the follow on. He took them past that mark, with Zimbabwe finally being 373 all out, and Sri Lanka in the second innings were 5 for no loss. Essentially, they were 169 runs ahead. So, and on a quick, so these are the two things that I'm going to actually cover today on this cricket show of mine. So first, let's get on to the West Indies versus Pakistan. And as far as West Indies Pakistan were concerned, Pakistan resumed on the overnight score, and it was pretty good work. In fact, they started off with a flurry of boundaries. Mohammad Amir hit a few boundaries, but Alzari Joseph was the one who nipped in the wickets as he actually clean bowled Yasir Shah for 12 and Mohammad Amir clean bowled for 20. Barbados not out on 1, and the Pakistan innings came to a quick halt as they were all out for 281 in the morning. And well, Alzari Joseph was the only wicket taker today. He picked up 2 for 57. As far as West Indies were concerned, they started off their they started off their innings in reply against the Pakistanis, and we definitely saw that the ball was doing something. Was something in it for the bowlers as Mohammad Amir was getting the ball to talk, one could say. He was bowling exceptionally well today, and Wahab Riaz was looking a bit listless, and then the spinners were into action. But before that, we saw that Mohammad Amir had actually shaken Leon Johnson a bit, but the wicket taker, as it normally happens, the other guy gets the wicket, and it was Wahab Riaz who actually got Leon Johnson into a real bind here, as he actually served a straight ball to him, and Leon Johnson was gone. LBW bowled Wahab Riaz for one, so that was a quick breakthrough for the Pakistanis. Brathwaite was joined in by Darren Bravo, and Brathwaite was basically very circumspect. He was really biding his time at the crease. He knew that he had a role to play, and one knows that Brathwaite is someone who can stay put at the crease for quite a long time. Darren Bravo joined him, and the score was pushed on to 32 with the partnership between Brathwaite and Darren Bravo. And now something happened which will go into the record books. Well, Darren Bravo, who was struggling against the pace bowlers Mohammad Amir and Wahab Riaz, really tried to get some runs against the spinner Zulfikar Babar, and in doing so, he actually tried to play a cross-batted stroke, which actually was creaming past the cover region. And what a stupendous catch taken by Mohammad Amir. In fact, sprinting back and diving full length to just cling on to that catch. And Darren Bravo was on his way back, caught Mohammad Amir, bowled Zulfikar Babar for 11 with 2 boundaries. But what was very good about that catch was not only was that a stupendous catch by Mohammad Amir, can you believe it? This was the first catch in international cricket, in test matches, by Mohammad Amir in 20 tests. Now that is something very difficult to believe, but that was the case. Mohammad Amir picking up his first catch in his test career, as Dwayne Bravo was caught by Mohammad Amir of the bowling of Zulfikar Babar. 20 tests, he has not got a single catch, and really came as a surprise. But yes, it was his first catch in Test cricket, and what a catch to really, what a catch to really start off his catching in his Test career. So he was gone for 11, and after that, Marlon Samuels continued to struggle, and he was a goner, as Yasir Shah had him plumb LBW for naught, which had the West Indies in real trouble at 38 for 3. After that, we saw Blackwood joined Brathwaite. Brathwaite continued to. Then there was a partnership from 38. We had a short little partnership with Blackwood showing some aggressive strokes in his short stint of 23 with 4 boundaries. But then Blackwood was also a victim, as Mohammad Amir was bowling superbly. As I said, he was really bowling very well, and he angled in a delivery to Jermaine Blackwood, and Blackwood playing an aggressive stroke was a victim, caught by Asad Shafiq. He was gone for 23, which had the West Indies really struggling at 68 for 4. But after that, there was a wonderful partnership. Brathwaite was doing all the right things. As I said, he was actually playing there. I mean, as I said, he's a technically proficient batsman, so he plays very well, and he was doing his job to perfection, as he was joined in by Ralston Chase. Once Ralston Chase came, Ralston Chase showed that he was really adept at playing some strokes, and he was looking good. He was playing some very good strokes, but he also he was a bit troubled by the bowlers, no doubt about it. But then finally, it was Mohammad Amir who had a ball which was angling across him, and Yunis Khan took the catch. But what a partnership from 68! Thanks to this partnership, the West Indies recovered to 151. So basically, it was an 83-run partnership which happened between Ralston Chase and Brathwaite. And Brathwaite so Ralston Chase was gone. That made it 151 for 5. And Brathwaite, let me tell you, was joined in by Shane Dowrich, and Shane Dowrich was also a very able companion, as Shane Dowrich also played some good strokes, and he was also looking equally good. He was in no trouble at all, Shane Dowrich playing his strokes, and Brathwaite basically was getting all his runs through the on the back of the wicket. Basically, if you look at his, I would say, wagon wheel of his stroke making or his run making chart, one would see that Brathwaite was predominantly getting runs behind the wicket. There was only one more that he had of Zulfikar Barber. I thought it was over the mid-on region for a boundary. Shane Dowditch was playing well and things were looking good, and there was one more good partnership that happened, and this was also an 80-odd run partnership. I think it was a similar partnership which was basically added 83 runs. As this was going on, it was Wahab Riaz who actually broke that good partnership by clean bowling Shane Dowditch for 47 with 5 fours and 1 6. And at close of play, the West Indies score read 244 for 6. Brathwaite, as I said, chiseled together a very, very good innings under the circumstances. He was unbeaten on 95 with 10 boundaries, and Jason Holder, the captain, was not out on 6. And one can say that Brathwaite still has a long way to go, in the sense Brathwaite tomorrow has to get some company, and Jason Holder is there, so definitely they still have Bishu who can bat. So definitely we have some real cricket, and it will be a challenge for the Pakistan to stop them. But probably tomorrow might be the chance for West Indies to actually take the lead over Pakistan. As far as the bowling is concerned, Mohammad Amir, as I said, bowled exceptionally well. 17 overs, 4 maidens, 44 runs and 2 wickets. Wahab Riaz, listless, 2 for 65, 16. Yasir Shah bowled a good line, 18 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 56. Zulfikar Barber, 17 3, 45 1. Mohammad Nawaz, 4 overs for 12, and Azhar Ali, 6 overs, none for 16. So that is as far as this match between Pakistan and West Indies are concerned. So tomorrow one has to see whether Brathwaite can get on to his century, and also in the company of Holder, this partnership would be very crucial. It's very essential that Jason Holder and Brathwaite stay for a long time, because they are the ones who could really take them past this Pakistan total and get themselves into the lead. Whether that is going to happen, it remains to be seen. Well, the next match which I'm going to talk about is between Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe. And as I said yesterday, the pitch already was showing some signs of uneven bounce. The ball was skidding, there was some low bounce, and that was what precisely happened today, as Zimbabwe starting on their overnight score of 88 for 1 with Mavoyo and Masakadza at the crease. Mavoyo was severely tested by some bouncers, and then finally it was Suranga Lakmal who actually picked up the wicket of Tino Mavoyo for 45, caught Gunaratne for 45 with 6 boundaries. After that, we saw on the same score, it was Suranga Lakmal who actually picked up one more wicket. I mean, there was no runs added, and then Lakmal came onto his next over and he picked up the wicket of Hamilton Masakadza for 33 with 6 boundaries. So the two well-set players were into the pavilion, and Zimbabwe were 92 for 3 at that stage. And to complicate matters, the Zimbabweans further started sinking, I would say, as it was Dilruwan Pereira, it was Kushal Pereira, it was K Pereira, Dilruwan Pereira actually picking up the wicket. As you know, Craig Irwan and Sean Williams were really finding it a bit tough against the Sri Lankan bowlers, and then the spinner Dilruwan Pereira had Craig Irwan LBW for 12 with 1 4, as there was some low bounce and some pace and movement too for the bowlers, and Sean Williams fell a victim to the bowling of Herat to leave Zimbabwe at 134 for 5, and then Malcolm Waller trying to play a pull shot. Probably the ball did not rise to the expectations, as I said, because of the low bounce, and he was trapped LBW for 22, thus leaving Zimbabwe in a very tough situation, as they lost 5 wickets in the morning session and they were 139 for 6, and it looked like Zimbabwe were definitely going to the Zimbabwe were definitely going to follow on looking at things. But then they had 2 batsmen in the middle who really started making a difference to the whole scheme of things. One was the captain, Graham Cremer, and at the other side it was Peter Moor. Graham Cremer, well, he decided he was playing in a very, very sedate fashion, but the one good thing about, and suddenly we saw that this partnership from 139 for 6, there was a big recovery which was made, which really helped them avoid the follow on. It was done by Cremer, the Zimbabwean captain, who really, I would say, showed some very good application with the bat. Basically, he was getting as close to the ball as possible, putting his head down, and knowing that he had a huge responsibility to play today in the Zimbabwean innings. Peter Moor was there at the other end. Peter Moor was in a different frame of mind. He decided that he's really going to take the attack to the spinners. He started using his feet well, and he started putting some pressure on the bowlers by clouting them for some very straight sixes. The good thing about Peter Moore was he was hitting the ball straight, and he was hitting them absolutely clean as a whistle. He was really charging against the spinners, and also he was playing some good strokes. And Peter Moore, to me, was looking in an aggressive mode. At the other end, Cremer, one thing about Cremer was that he was getting his runs beautifully, especially through the extra cover region when he was creaming boundaries. And what was good about Cremer was his very, very, very impeccable placement, as he was just going and pushing the ball into the gaps, and the ball was racing towards the fence on a very, very quick outfield. As this particular partnership started blossoming in only the way that Zimbabwe wanted, as this partnership had 132 valuable runs for the 7th wicket to take Zimbabwean score on to 271, and that was the time Lahiru Kumara got his maiden test wicket. Peter Moore was doing well. In fact, the previous day we saw Lahiru Kumara was in his second spell. I would say he was looking a bit menacing, because what he did is he actually hit Cremer's helmet, and the Cremer's helmet just fell perilously close to the stumps, but not dislodging the bails. And as far as Peter Moore was concerned, the previous delivery, he was really caught in a real tangle with a very sharp bouncer directed by Lahiru Kumara, the young bowler. But the next delivery netted his maiden test wicket as he bounced Peter Moore, and Peter Moore tried to play the shot. He tried to pull him, and the ball ended up in the hands of Pereira. And Peter Moore was gone out for 79 with 6 boundaries and 3 sixes. After that, the score 271 for 7 was a very, very good partnership, which helped Zimbabwe recover in a very, very big manner as Tripano came in and joined Cremer. Now, Cremer was on his 70s at that time, and it was very essential that Tripano stayed there for quite a long time, and Donald Tripano definitely did that. His job was to go there and see to it that Cremer approached this century, and that's what he precisely did. He really stayed at the wicket along with Cremer, not attempting any rash strokes, but basically blocking their balls. It was a very, very good knock from Tripano under the circumstances. As Cremer was at the other end, Cremer was looking pretty good, and as things were going on, another partnership started developing, and this was another good partnership that happened for the 8th wicket, which added 92 runs for the 8th wicket as things were going on. And then the part-timer Mendes was put into operation, and part-timer Mendes picked up his maiden test wicket, as he actually had Tripano LBW for 46 with 7 boundaries. But there was still, Cremer was still yet to get to a century as Mumba and Pofu came in. But Cremer managed to get to his century, his maiden test century, and what a knock it was. He was averaging 10 in test batting averages, and he would have definitely surprised the Lankans today. But what a knock it was. I would say it was a sterling knock from Cremer. A real captain's knock to save his team from avoiding the follow-on, as he finished on an unbeaten 102 with 10 boundaries, and we saw the tailenders Mumba being bowled by Herat for 1, Pofu bowled Lakmal for 2, as Zimbabwe avoiding the follow-on were all out for 373, and I thought Zimbabwe did a wonderful job here. Now, as far as the bowling was concerned, I'm not going to go into much details here. 3 for 69 Lakmal, 3 for Rangana, 2 for Pereira, and Lahiru Kumara getting his debut maiden test wicket. There was a big lead of 164 runs, and 3 overs were bowled, and Sri Lanka were 5 for no loss at close of play, essentially meaning that they were 169 runs ahead. And one really looks forward to a nice tussle that's going to happen between Zimbabwe and Sri Lanka. But Sri Lanka definitely holding the upper hand with the lead that they have. But I thought Zimbabweans did a wonderful job. That was something which was really, really great stuff coming in from the Zimbabweans. Well, dear fan subscribers, I don't have anything else to really dwell on right now. It's about time for me to end this cricket show. Thanks for your company as usual. And this is your host Ram signing off finally for the day. Thank you.